Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I want to review and give you guys my experience playing Prince Malchezaar, and this is one of the most anticipated cards from the Hearthstone expansion. While, we can all agree this card hasn't really delivered, we know by now, if you played Arena, if you played Constructed, you're generally surprised when your opponent is playing this card. And I want to talk about kind of the parameters among the cards so we can just have an overall better understanding collectively, and maybe you guys can find some way, shape, or form to actually include the card successfully in Hearthstone, I guess. So let's get Arena out of the way, because Arena really has a very telling story about the power level of Prince Malchezaar. So Prince Malchezaar in Arena, I thought it was one of the best cards in Arena, before it was launched, of course. And I thought that because generally there are a few legendary cards that just win the game on their own. And despite the stats, despite the fact that, yes, the average legendary in Arena is around the same level, probably lower in some classes than an average common card in terms of like tier scores, at least if you're using like the Hearth Arena system. So generally the cards that are added to your deck are overall not great. They're okay, but they're not great. So what it's added to your deck is not really a significant thing most of the time, but because I figured some of the cards occasionally would be just instantly game-winning, that would just make the card overall very good and very powerful, and you'd win a lot of games as a result. That turns out to not be the case. According to Hearth Arena stats, in fact, Prince Malchezaar is worse than a 5-mana 5/6 with no ability. So that's actually pretty bad. Now it's not considerably worse than that, but it does actually lower the power level of an average deck. And that is just mind-blowing if you thought the card was good, right? I mean, it blew my mind at least. So yes, it turns out the case where you get crazy good legendaries just doesn't happen all that often. And in Arena, you have to keep in mind that you don't actually have legendaries in your deck. So the way that the Prince Malchezaar mechanic works is it follows deck building rules. So let's say you're playing a Paladin deck in Arena, you have no other legendaries, you could get any Paladin legendary and any neutral legendary. But if you put it in your Constructed deck where you have, your choice best synergistic like 5 legendaries, you will not be able to get duplicate legendaries of those. And that basically makes it worse when you can construct your deck versus Arena. And in Arena, it's actually worse than a 5-mana 5/6. Now, there's cards that are really bad in Arena, but they're really good in Constructed. But those are cards that usually have, gigantic synergistic effects or just crazy combos. And Prince Malchezaar is not really one of those. Prince Malchezaar just doesn't have that level of consistency to combo anything. The only advantage that it offers in a Constructed deck as opposed to an Arena deck, because you can make a super control, super defensive Constructed deck, and you generally can't plan to get that in Arena, you basically make it to fatigue in Constructed if you design your deck to do that much more often than you can in Arena. And if you get to the fatigue level and you've basically, exhausted all your deck and all your opponent's deck, because your deck had 5 more cards from Prince Malchezaar, regardless of the fact that your legendaries are actually going to be on average worse than they are in Arena, because you can't duplicate the ones you already put in your deck, well, you might have some advantage in that case by taking less fatigue damage. But, that's a little bit weak, right? I have tried the card. I've recently got a chance to play the card in Arena, and my experience, while I did have some spectacular moments, definitely were far fewer than I thought. And I have played against the card in Arena, and again, it looks really intimidating. The game starts, shuffles 5 legendaries in the deck. You're like, whoa, I guess I better win right away before he pulls those insane. Well, no. Generally, the cards are actually not that insane. So you can just straight up win a lot of these games. And in Constructed, when I see the card or when I play the card, there's this assumption that the deck is so much less consistent, you just, start playing just whatever you want. And yeah, it's kind of on a level that it kind of works. So you'd imagine that, if your opponents started playing around fewer things, you might have a competitive advantage because they'd play into your stuff. But no, actually, the Prince Malchezaar being in your deck along with his 5 bro legendaries actually does, apparently, and it seems like you notice this almost every game you play him, lower the consistency of your removal spells. So basically what I'm saying is it is actually kind of underpowered. There are a few other tools that are more favorable in terms of the Fatigue War. Now, there's nothing quite as good as adding 5 extra cards to your deck in the game in terms of the Fatigue War, but we're not really at the stage where, you know, decks are just grinding it out to the very last card and dying to fatigue damage. Now, if we were at that stage in the game, if that was possible to actually play competitively, then maybe Prince Malchezaar would see a showing. But until that happens, even if you want to play a fatigue deck, you're just better off playing cards like Elise, for instance, that just adds 1 extra card to your deck, because often enough that's just good enough, as no one else seems to be playing the fatigue game these days. So a lot of very interesting, you know, considerations, deck types, and understandings of the game go into really evaluating this card. And while of course it's not a spectacular card, as we now know very clearly, it does have a very cool presence, and it does teach us a lot of things about the game to realize that this card is actually not all that good. But still, fun moments are obviously very common with this card, so I want to give you guys a lot of the highlights I experienced so you can see, at least on the entertainment side, just how good Prince Malchezaar is. So I hope you guys enjoy the games, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay.
The legions I command. Are you mocking me?
Dragon Priest.
My work is paramount. Leave me
Ouch.
Let the pain speak to me.
That's a good card.
alone. Once upon a time.
Okay. I might lose this game, but Prince Malchezaar has definitely proved his worth. The main issue I have is the what's it called? Blackwing Corruptor.
Power flows through me.
Oh, what? Okay.
It's hammer time.
Dude, we're ripping these legendaries right now.
My work is paramount. Leave me alone.
Welcome to the Grand Tournament, champion.
Who's up for an adventure?
Is he gonna hunter me, you think? I'm surprised that's in there. What? You gotta be kidding me with that one. That's not that valuable, dude.
All realities, all directions.
Okay.
Simple fool.
I just need to not face Ysera and I'm in good shape. Ysera is probably gonna win the game though. Alright, no Ysera. Looks fine. Oh, what? I'm at 14 HP, okay? I'm at 14. Let's see how much this skyrockets.
Your skills are growing.
That's bad. Also bad. Also bad. But okay, I guess. Overall, we played like a 20-20, so that's fine, I guess.
Let reading practice love.
It needs a hell of a lot more than that. What?
I sail the slimy deeps.
For the glory of Stormwind! For the glory of Stormwind! Job done.
I think I missed lethal. Yeah, I had Skycap and Crag lethal.
Guests only. Well played.
Okay. Well, I have a lot of cards that are good against Warlock, and I'm actually going first in this game, so... Alright, dude, I'm taking that. Legendary is so useful in this game. Yeah.
The legions I command.
The Paladin deck went 2 and 3. Not bad, honestly.
I suppose. A critic. Magic detected.
My totems, my pretty totems.
Okay.
So many possibilities.
That's not too bad.
My mouth very, very
Nopers. Okay.
my totems, my pretty totems, my pretties, my pretties. Engaging TC-130 into dislocator.
Twice now. Fucking twice. Alright, I guess.
My pretties.
Battle detected.
Batman voice. I have too many doggy emotes. I don't know, man.
So many
I think Crypdex is one of my favorite emotes on Twitch.
Battle commencing.
So that'll be 9. Which means if he taps, he's dead.
Love my new recipe.
Oh!
Safety restrictions offline. Harvesting server. Battle commencing.
Okay. This guy has an unbelievable amount of answers, but fine, whatever. He's low and my deck is stacked, so fuck it. You're going to tap. Sure, dude. Sure. How'd that tap work out? Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. Alright. This might be my greatest BM ever. Yeah, I can potentially kill him with the double Brave Archer snipe. I'm not even sure I've ever used that card successfully. Fine. Oh! What the hell? Well, that's a first. Alright. I have 0 dropped frames. Alright. Oh wow, that's pretty brutal. I just have to hope he doesn't have a Hex. If he has a Hex, we're gonna be in trouble, I think. Because we don't really have much after this.
Your mother was a murloc.
This only works in the simple means.
I did that because if I do 1/1 and weapon, I kind of just get screwed. Oh, he has Fire Elemental. Shit. I just have to go all out tempo mode right now. The fact that he's going first and he's got some really good answers is, I think, enough here to win. If I don't draw well, or if he doesn't have a bad turn, there's no way I win this. You guys didn't like my play? That was questionable, that? Well, I have another weapon in hand, and I think I need maximum tempo. No, I think it was fine.
An autograph? My totems! My pretty totems! Ha ha!
Oh no.
Prepare to face the might of my pretty totems!
Alright, well his play last turn wasn't so great, but with free spells and a card that synergizes with spells, we're gonna have to get a little lucky here. Alright, it's actually not too bad. Rip in peace. Well, if he goes face, it gives me a chance because I can maybe pump out a taunt totem. So, I'm okay with that. Okay, well that's my biggest guy. I literally only stay alive with Taunt Totem. Nope. Malchezaar versus Malchezaar. Goes down to Tempa plays. Damn.